That's who you are.
I'm Shawn Olegario, and I've been tricking for roughly 6 years, but I've been doing Taekwondo for 14 years of my life. So I started when I was, actually 15 years. I started when I was 4 and I'm 19 now, turning 20 in a couple months.
Nice. So can you tell people who maybe are into martial arts but have never heard of tricking, what is tricking to you?
So for me, a good foundation of tricking has come from martial arts. Me doing Taekwondo and tricking, a lot of it, or at least early tricking, like you would see from like the open karate tournaments or early Taekwondo tournaments, a lot of kicking, which I feel like is a good foundation of it. And then over time, it started introducing more factors from other disciplines. And it's not even just martial arts. It comes from gymnastics with twisting. So you see a lot of techniques where like a tricker will do something that look like a gymnast would do, but it looks way different. It involves movements that come from breakdancing, so people can incorporate flares, air flares, any types of that stuff. And then even other stuff such as like even divers can learn something from tricking. Anything that involves movement, it's pretty much everything movement combined together, even aspects of parkour and free running. And then when it came to tricking, I thought first I thought I was just everything I was learning was from purely Taekwondo, and then it learned that some of the moves that I've learned are actually coming from other disciplines. So that's how I got exposed to it.
Awesome. And what do you see like tricking in the future?
Where tricking is now, I don't know if I want to know where the future will be. We have 14-year-olds who are landing quad cork, and it's kind of scary to think about how far the human body can push itself. Quint cork, we thought triple cork was already out of this world, and then quad cork was hit, and now people are hitting quint fulls and they can pull corks out of that. So it's kind of you would think that something might be too outrageous, but really it's not that far off from what can be achieved.
Like, isn't there like your friend said he's more of a flipper, you're more of a kicker. Is this like a style thing, or is it really like? So
saying that tricking is a lot of different things combined. A lot of people will have their own style, and they use that for their own advantage. So someone who can be a gymnast or was a gymnast turned tricker, they have really good tumbling technique and they have really good power when it comes to bouncing off the floor and doing, let's say, two twists and a flip in the air, compared to someone who just got exposed to tricking out of nowhere. They still have their own style, and what's unique to them is that they have a very raw, like a very gritty look to it. So someone who learned tricking in their backyard, they may not have the best of kicks, but they can shock you with the amount of power they can rip out from even the worst setup. Like, not saying that it's bad, but you'd be surprised at what some people are strong at, which you think you'd be strong at, but they just have refined it a bit better because they learned it differently than you.
Interesting. So, like, you're more of a martial arts background, and I guess the kicks help you in that.
Yeah, so with me doing Taekwondo for so long, I have a very good range of motion when it comes to my legs. I can do splits, my kicks are good extension, I can be able to point my toes. But what brings me back, or what holds me back, is my twisting isn't the best because I don't have the aerial awareness when it comes to a gymnast, when it comes to back twisting. Or let's say even when it comes to getting height off the floor out of a cartwheel or a round off. But it's not saying that I can't do it, it's something I can work on. And what I found is that when it comes to twisting, if I add a kick to it, I'm good.
Oh, that's interesting. Badass. So what's like one of your favorite tricks, I guess?
So at first, one of my favorite tricks was just a 540 kick, but that's because that was my first, not my first kick, but one of my first advanced kicks, which ended up just being a basic. As of recently, I've been spamming cartwheel hyper hooks, which is my favorite trick to do now because it's something that I never thought I'd be able to do, and now it's like one of my best moves.
Awesome. And like, do you have any influences for tricking personally? Who you like look up to or like?
Early tricking, I was a real big fan of Steve Terrata because he went from karate into breakdancing. He joined Quest Crew, and he was on a bunch of different shows, and he's really brought tricking like to the public. And then current day, some of my favorite trickers, actually probably my favorite trick of all time, Andy Lee, Marshall Club, first champion from Red Bull Kick It 2013. Favorite one because he knows how to blend the aspects of tricking when it comes to combining all the different movements, but keeping a very strong foundation with martial arts. So he brings a lot of influence from Chinese martial arts and wushu.
Excellent. And anything you want to say in closing about tricking?
You would think that what you see in there, or whether you see it on social media, you would think it'd be impossible, but even, again, people can learn it in their backyards. Even if you're bodying yourself trying front flips in your backyard, just that one little thing can skyrocket a whole chain of different skills that you didn't know you were capable of. For me, I didn't even know I could do an aerial, bust out an aerial within 20 minutes. Next thing I know, I'm onto back tucks within the next week. So you'd be surprised. And it's not cheesy, like you can do anything. No, with tricking, it doesn't matter where you came from. You can learn something from tricking, and it may not be the same starting point from someone else, but that's what makes it unique to you.
You think that's confidence building? Is it giving confidence to you, or?
Most definitely. Because it's almost like that Bruce Lee saying where you practice one thing 1,000 times compared to a bunch of different things. You'll have something that's unique to you, and you can show it off, and someone else might be able to do the same skill, but theirs won't look the same compared to what you do. And that's what I think is very encouraging and courageous about tricking. You can have your own look.
Awesome, man. Shawn, I can't wait to see you out there.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.